So Joe Biden called Doocy a dumb son of a bitch.
I don't know if I want to lead this, John. I'm sorry, go ahead, I'm messing.
I'm kidding, I'm totally kidding, none of that happened. Let's get some of the reactions to what Joe Biden said. Everybody is very aggrieved. Although interestingly, the closer you are to the insult, the less you seem to care, the more distant, the more egregious it seems. Brian Stelter, and by the way, it was in response to a question about inflation. The question don't matter. Brian Stelter says, calling a journalist a son of a bitch, it was wrong when Trump was just a candidate, and it's even worse now that he's POTUS. Yes, okay, that's like, yes, neither should do it, I guess, or whatever. I want people to be worried about freedom of the press and the aggressive approach most politicians have to it. And I'm not saying that this can't be a part of it. I don't feel like this is core to that though. When they're talking about changing the libel laws and stuff, or when they're trying to like extradite people who like blew whistles and stuff, that's like the core of it. And if you're good on that stuff, go crazy about the dumb son of a bitch comment. That's what I think. But if you don't care about the core stuff, and you're not worried about that, or conglomerations buying up all local media, an entire state, and the fact that newsrooms can't afford to hire an actual journalist and nobody knows anything about what's going on in other countries. If you don't care about that stuff, don't give me your tears about the son of a bitch comment. That's what I think.
Amen.
So that's Stelter. We have Jim Banks, Republican, who says, have we ever seen a president attack and malign the free press like Joe Biden had?
Yes.
Wait, who? Who, Nina?
I mean, I'm old enough to remember a man by the name of Donald J. Trump. Are you kidding? See, this full outrage, down to your point, it just makes no sense whatsoever. Are we in the Twilight Zone? Yeah, we are. John, we visit the Twilight Zone too often, in my opinion.
Yeah, we're in the Twilight Zone now. At the end of the show, we're actually gonna be in Black Mirror. So get ready for that. We're in a dystopia of one form or another. I'm not even gonna read the graphics. I was just gonna focus on Trump's obsession with Yamiche Alcindor. Like just her individually, he said way than this.
He did.
Let alone all of it. And anyway, so
but part of this is a facade that is put up in political circles that everybody must be prim and proper to be acceptable. See, so we're fighting against this false facade. People are human, and a lot of humans curse or cuss. Where I come from, baby, it's called just cussing. You're gonna get a good cussing out. So at that moment, that is how President Biden felt, and he said that part, what he was thinking came out of his mouth. Okay, next question.
Exactly. Can I ask you a super fast question? Actually, you said next question. Here's a question for you. Was it a hot mic? I mean, obviously it was a hot mic. The mic was on. Did he not know that would be broadcast? What do you think? Am I being conspiratorial?
No, it was a hot moment. Hell, forget the hot mic. It was a hot moment. He knew the mic was on. Jesus.
Yeah. Okay, that's sort of what I suspected.
Yeah.
But anyway, you know what? To stay on Yamiche for 1 second, calling someone a dumb son of a bitch is profane or whatever. Responding to a question about white nationalism by saying that's a very racist question. Be nice, don't be threatening. Those are not the same thing. Like they're both sparring with a reporter, but they feel different to me, Nina.
They are different, and we can't allow people to conflate, bad people on both sides or good people on both sides. That's what they're doing when they bring those two things together. They don't go together, and there is a difference. Now, being cussed at or cursed at is being cussed at, but certain questions and certain situations are not the same thing.
Exactly. Okay, well, let's go to as close as I care to get to those who were so gravely insulted by what Joe Biden did. Here is a little bit from Fox and Friends this morning talking about it.
So the president picked up the phone, called him back, and am I right, Steve? At the end of it, he said, I got to ask you different questions, and he said, yeah, that's I understand that's your job. I want you to do that.
Right. The president said, hey, Peter, nothing personal. pal. So I guess they're pals, despite what he had said earlier, which did seem pretty personal in that kind of attack, or at least by using those words. And he said, and Peter said, Mr. President, I just want you to know I am always going to ask different questions. And the president reportedly told Peter, according to Peter, on Hannity last night, he said, well, you got it. And so Peter Doocy will continue to ask those questions despite the president saying stuff.
So, okay, Biden reached out to him and reassured him that there's no hard feelings or whatever. And don't worry, Peter's strong, he can take it. He's gonna ask those tough questions. Ugh, this was stupid.
Yeah, Chris cried me a river on that. That's just, again, more theater. Hell, he's a reporter. They're accustomed to have to be sometimes rough and tumble, with the White House, with politicians. I mean, it just happens. Peter gonna be all right.
Yeah,
Pumpkin is gonna be all right.
Yeah, he's gonna have in 10 years, he's gonna have a nighttime show on Fox. He's gonna become, 500% more fascist than he is now, and he's gonna be richer than I'll ever be in my life. He's gonna be fine. Anyway, finally, really fast, because they did that whole like damage control thing for him. He's always gonna ask different questions. And Biden, he just like responded negatively to a different question. Like, that's not 100% wrong. Biden didn't seem to like the question, which was basically just, when are you gonna answer a question about inflation? Do you think inflation will hit the midterms? But can we pause for a second and not act as if that question is some sort of like amazing example of journalistic bravery? Oh dear, you asked the president if inflation is gonna affect the midterms 9 months from now? Yeah, you're finally cutting through all the nonsense of DC and hitting the things that really affect people. No, that's the most obvious sort of nonsensical opposition question ever. Fine, ask it, and Biden should answer it. But that is totally in line with accepted discourse. That is not some sort of thinking outside the box moment from my point of view.
No, it's true. It's one of those, the technical term is called duh. That's one of those moments. Yeah. Inflation impacting the midterm election.
Man, it's a big 2-hit to Doocy. First he gets called a dumb son of a bitch, and now he turns like, duh. Anyway.
Check out the Damage Report podcast each day, wherever you get your podcasts, whether Pocket Casts or Stitcher or iTunes. You can join me as I give you the news and stories you want, with a range of co-hosts and interview guests jumping in on the fun each day. Again, that's the Damage Report, wherever you get your podcasts. And if you get them at iTunes, don't forget to rate and review. Sometimes I'll read them live on the show.